We know NoCo. From Town Square Media, this is Tuned Into NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis. How's it going, NoCo? Welcome into the show. Today we have the Colorado State Patrol Trooper, Derrick Heller, with us. Derrick, thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure. I really appreciate you inviting me on this show.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Colorado State Patrol recently released a press release that says Colorado is facing a critical blood shortage. Can you tell our listeners what this is all about?
Yeah, so we're partnering up with Vitalant, one of the leading blood donors here in Colorado, and I think actually across the nation. Unfortunately, this is still resulting from the pandemic. January 2022, American Red Cross is when they first declared that we were in a blood shortage due to the pandemic, and we're still feeling those effects all the way back from then. So I'm really just trying to get those storages back up and make sure that we have the blood that's needed for the people that are in the hospitals and across the state.
Now, I was reading in your press release, it says that every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. is in need of blood, and these donations are used in a variety of ways. Do you mind explaining some of these to our listeners?
Yeah, so one of the biggest reasons that we need people to donate blood, hospital patients, they're the ones that primarily rely on these blood donations. And there's actually a platelet or plasma transfusion every hour, every day of the year. So as you can imagine, that really adds up, especially when we're talking about how many people are in the hospitals and all the different, whether it's a car crash, dog bite, or, just a broken bone, they may have that internal bleeding and may need that transfusion.
Definitely. Thank you. Now, you guys are, like you said, you're partnering with Vitalant and you're hosting a virtual blood drive across Colorado. What is a virtual blood drive? Can you explain that to our listeners?
Yeah, it is something new to me when I first learned about it as well. What it is we have a certain link that Vitalant gave us. We're going to spread the word. It's on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're putting posts out about every week or every 2 weeks, just reminding people that we're trying to get people to donate. And what you do is you just click on that link and you'll be able to fill out a form. And that's you making that pledge, just saying, yes, I will go out there and I will donate blood. And then the next step would be to actually find the location closest to you. So Vitalant has locations all across Colorado, and that's why we do it virtually versus holding just one mobile blood drive right in Denver. We're trying to have the biggest impact across Colorado that we can have. So you can get on there, you make that pledge, right? The very next thing that's going to pop up is location information, where you can actually go in and act and schedule that blood donation. And that's why we do it virtually. That way you can get on there, make the pledge, and then you can just find that location that's closest to you that you're going to be able to go to. And then once you schedule it, you show up and they'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. I was also reading that a single donation has the ability to save up to 3 lives, which is pretty amazing. Derrick, what is the best way for someone to prepare for a blood donation?
Yeah, so I actually give blood every 3 months or every 6 months, just depending on, you do what's called a double red or power red. What they do is they take double the amount of red blood cells and then they actually put the plasma back into you. Or you can just do a normal whole blood donation, which would just take that red blood cells and the plasma all at once. But the best way is just make sure you're hydrated. You don't want to go in dehydrated. What that can do is that can actually raise your heart rate and just cause some other issues. And then make sure you get some rest and you have a little bit of food beforehand just in case. Vitalant is actually really great when it comes to providing little light snacks and drinks as well, either before or after your donation.
Perfect. Now, you guys also did this last year. How did that go?
It actually went really well. We didn't really know what to expect. However, last year we had over 73 people pledge to be donors. And then of those 73, 10 of those were people that have never given blood before. And so that's the great thing that we want to see is these people coming out. And, because it can be scary to go out, and especially if you're afraid of needles. But thinking back to that statistic that you just said, you can save not only one person, but up to 3 people with just a single donation. So I really think that's huge. And I think that got to a lot of people last year.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys heard that. Get out and donate blood this month with the Colorado State Patrol. They are doing a virtual blood drive. It's going to be awesome. You can save up to 3 lives. Best way to prepare for this is to make sure you eat and hydrate. You can find information on how to sign up for this on the Colorado State Patrol's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. They'll have a link on there. Now, kind of pivoting here, Derrick, how long have you been a state trooper? What's your story?
So right out of high school, I joined the Marine Corps, did a couple combat deployments, had enough fun, and got out. Started going to college. While going to college, I also worked at a school for kids with autism, and I was just applying. And eventually, I got the job with State Patrol back in 2016. I started out up in the mountains in Vail, Eagle County area. Had fun, dealt with some avalanches and the blizzards, and then came back down here to the Denver Metro. Last it would have been 4 years ago, I started working the roads going up to Gilpin County, where we have the casinos, just 30 minutes away from Denver. Lots of drugs, impaired drivers, stolen vehicles, a lot of that craziness on the roadways. And then last year, I switched up to this community outreach position, where now I do safety talks to schools, anything from kindergarten up to college. I even do safety talks for giant companies like Excel, SiteWise, where I'm talking to a room full of 1,000 people at a time. And then I do safety fairs, parades. We were just in the St. Patrick's Day parade, and it's a great job. It's a great experience.
That's so cool. So is this kind of something you've always wanted to do, just work with the community?
Yeah, because it's one of the reasons I got into this profession. I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see. With this position in particular, I have a lot of power and the ability to do that. Going out to schools, that maybe don't see police officers, too often, or when they do, it's usually not in the best light. So I like being able to get out to those schools and have those conversations with the kids, and especially getting out to the younger students as well. Not only talking to them about the bullying and internet safety and stuff like that, but having their first interactions with law enforcement be a positive one. I think that's really important because, even if, a police officer is not directly talking to them, if mom, dad, or guardian is getting talked to by the police, it could be a scary time for the parents or the guardians. And then who knows when we leave, what's said. So that could be their only interaction with law enforcement,
right,
until they're older. So I want to make sure that it's just, positive interactions starting at a young age, to show that, we are there to help. And that's what we always want to do.
Absolutely. That's so great. Do schools sign up for you guys to come and talk to them? Is that how it works?
Yeah. So we have a link on the Colorado State Patrol website. You can get over to a community outreach section, where we're technically called Pillar, Partners in Lifelong Learning and Readiness. That's our little acronym. But you can get on there to the Pillar page, and you can actually request an instructor. It doesn't even have to be a school. It can be a community event. It can be a Boy Scout, Girl Scout group, church group. I've done homeschool events. So it's really for anyone and everyone that just wants to have that officer presence around, and or you have a safety message that you'd like to talk to your students or even adults.
That's so awesome. I'm kind of going back to the blood drive here. Why would you say this is so important for somebody in our community to get out and give blood?
It's one of those things, it's very little sacrifice, but it can have such a huge impact on your community and everyone around you. I know it's uncomfortable to get a needle stick. However, I'm in and out within 15 minutes. So with 15 minutes of my time, I'm able to save up to 3 people. And these are people that, have no other hope or resource other than people coming out and donating.
Now, something that I think is actually super cool is you can download the Vitalant app and monitor what is going on with your blood donation, if it's used, how it's used, and the impact you're making. Derrick, can you tell us more about this?
So you can get on there. You can see past donations. You can schedule appointments. It has this feature where you can actually, it shows you your impact. And they do send you notifications that your blood was used.
Really?
So that's something that's unique that I thought was pretty cool.
That's neat.
So it's like, okay, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can actually see, oh my gosh, I actually made an impact. That's cool.
Well, then it's not just sitting, in a drawer that, then goes bad. And then you're like, well, that's cool. I wasted my time.
Right. Well, that's super neat. That is the first time I've heard of a donation drive having an app.
And because it's not just like for our drive, it's actually it's Vitalant's all the time. It has all my donations for the last 4 or 5 years now on there.
Wow. And with your partnership with Vitalant, you guys are going to give donors the opportunity to actually win something. What should they know? Yeah,
so Vitalant is actually being super generous and really trying to motivate the communities to get out there and donate. They're going to, through the month of March, they're going to be giving away 2 $10,000 prepaid gift cards to random donors. So as soon as you go out and you donate that blood, you're going to be entered into their raffle for one of those two $10,000 gift cards.
That is definitely another incentive to get out and donate blood. So you guys get out, donate blood this month. You'll be up to win some pretty great prizes. And if you download the Vitalant app, you'll be able to see exactly how and when your donation is being used. Pretty cool. Derrick, before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know about the blood drive?
Yeah, just spread it with everyone else you know. Again, 15, 20 minutes of your life. It's going to give someone, years of theirs. So please just get out there and donate. Make that pledge. Get on our website, our social media sites. Make that pledge and schedule that donation.
Thank you. Again, for those listening, definitely head out and donate blood this month. Colorado is facing a critical blood shortage, and the Colorado State Patrol and Vitalant will also be randomly giving out two $10,000 Visa gift cards to those that participate. For more information, you can head to the Colorado State Patrol's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Derrick, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to What Matters in NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis with Townsquare Media's Tuned Into NoCo. If you missed part of the show, you can find it on your Townsquare Media station app or website. If you or your organization would like to be considered for Tuned Into NoCo, send me an email at ashlee.meehleis@townsquaremedia.com. That's ASHLEE.MEEHLEIS@townsquaremedia.com.